From Bloomberg, nearly half of all young adults are living with their parents, and they're not ashamed to say it. Did you know that, Jordan? Did you know that nearly half of all young adults are still living with their parents?
What is a young adult?
I think it's like they're 20. So let's get into it. Dealt an onerous set of cards, including pandemic lockdowns, decades. By the way, I'm surprised that they said pandemic lockdowns, not just due to the virus.
Yeah. That's encouraging.
All right, so
good news or bad news? Good news.
We're moving in the right direction. Decades high inflation, soaring student debt levels, and a shaky job market. I can't believe this Bloomberg is saying that. Young people today are increasingly staying put. What's more, it's no longer seen as a sign of individual failure. Now, Jordan, we have been proponents of this for many years. We've told people, just stay home. Save your money.
That's right.
Don't feel like you have to move out as soon as you turn 18 or you go to college. I remember having professors that said, you really need to get the full college experience. You need to live on campus. I was like,
they're not saying
you going to pay for it, buddy?
I don't think they're saying that anymore.
They were saying in 2006.
Oh, yeah, not anymore. I mean, the vibe when I went to, it was just totally different.
Do you want to talk about that now, or you want to talk about it during the AirPods?
No, we'll talk about that during the AirPods.
Okay, all right. COVID-19 lockdowns in 2020 drove the share of young adults living with parents or grandparents to nearly 50%, a record high. Now, there is a time where it would have said, fear of the virus has driven people back to a familiar place to be with the people they love. These days, about 23 million or 45% of all Americans ages 18 to 29 are living with family. Roughly the same level as the 1940s, a time when women were more likely to remain at home until marriage, and men, too, were lingering on family farms in the aftermath of the Great Depression. I feel like this is good news.
Well, does that mean that there's going to be another depression type of thing? Is that what this means?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're at a point that only some sort of collapse is going to be able to reset things.
It's pretty bad.
That's what I genuinely, and that makes me sad to think about, but I don't
know what it means though to have a collapse at this point, because especially in Nashville, I'm trying to imagine if it collapsed, it would just get driven up because everybody from California would move here.
I mean more of like a full societal collapse, not just a housing market collapse. But so that's like the pessimistic side of me, but the optimistic side of me still says that any time in history when things got better, it was in a way that people could not have anticipated. I think that when there's a time for genuine optimism, it'll be in a way that we literally can't fathom right now.
Yeah.
Okay? For many, the American dream is more like an American illusion, with nearly 3/4 of those surveyed saying young people are stuck navigating a broken economic situation that prevents them from being financially successful. A trend towards financial nihilism is also impacting the way younger generations work, invest, spend, and choose to live. Look no further than the wave of young people saying no to college, quiet quitting, and accepting that living at home with mom and dad is the new normal. To use a favorite word of yours, Jordan, it feels like not going to college is being normalized now.
Do I say normalized a lot?
No, you've complained about the word to me before.
Oh, yeah, normalized, yeah. I was like, I can't imagine myself saying that.
No, I know you get annoyed by that word, but I'm going to use it in a way that I think you'll appreciate.
Yeah, it's true.
That's interesting to me.
Because this is more, it's not necessarily normal for I'm going to say on an individual case, it can be a good thing, but when you see that like just this wide sweeping new thing, that's when it's kind of concerning. It's not like this isn't like a case by case basis. This is like everybody is doing this. Why?
That's what I wrote in my notes. I wrote I'm okay with this as long as the kids are working and investing in a skill. Like if you're a self-starter and it's literally just, why would I go spend money these obnoxious rent rates? Or the expense, I'd rather just stay at home. If your parents are willing to let you stay home, and some parents won't, but if they'll let you stay home, just save your money, Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was a stigma to that for a while because it was like, I don't want to meet somebody and then them find out I still live at home. So if it becomes more like, I'm still living with my folks too, it's honestly like, I remember with me and Kelly, it was nice that we both had this shared experience of, we're both living at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think it's hard now because there's a part of society that is not like that, and then there's a part that is, obviously. And so maybe that's why a lot of people are having trouble finding people these days. Obviously the porn thing too, but but maybe that's another thing too, is that people just have different mindsets on that at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like bad news to me, but it also feels like good news because it kind of seems like things are going to have to swing in some direction at this point.
It feels, well, let's just get into the conspiracy theory, because I was wondering, is this on purpose? Jordan, I came across a tweet the other day, and it got me thinking. It was a post of a woman talking about how much house her parents have been able to buy on 2 public school teacher incomes. And this guy says, to fix this, housing prices have to crash dramatically, and we have to stop telling people that houses are an investment. Politicians are afraid to do this because they get tarred and feathered by everyone who paid such exorbitant prices. And I thought, I guess that makes sense, and that is true. But also, I don't think that's actually going to happen. And that made me think it's just going to get more and more expensive and unaffordable for people. Is this on purpose?
She was saying that her parents could afford a lot on 2 incomes?
Yeah, she was saying that in the 90s they were...
Oh, in the 90s.
And she was saying how little she can afford now.
Yeah.
Doing the same kind of thing, I guess. So then this guy, Jonathan Blow, basically said the only way for this to be fixed is for housing prices to crash dramatically, but for a lot of people, that's one of your most significant investments. So that would be very unpopular for that to happen. And so I don't think that actually will. I mean, maybe it will, and that would be, I don't know. But that it just made me think, is the point of all this, everything that's being done that is making the housing market as expensive as it is it being done so that we all just have to become renters? Nobody can own a house anymore. You're just beholden.
Who don't own the house is just a few people, pretty much.
Right. The ultra rich will own houses, and everybody else will rent. It's in the same way that we're becoming more of like a subscription rental society. You don't own music anymore. You subscribe to a subscription. You don't own movies anymore. You have a subscription. You don't own your house anymore. You have a subscription. Yeah. Oh, hey, and we'll roll your home insurance into it, and we'll do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll take care of everything for you. Just stay in line.
Who knows? I have no idea. No idea. It just seems so deep. That seems like there's so many factors.
Do you think that what I'm saying is more likely, or just that eventually it's going to have to collapse? Because either it keeps getting more expensive like this, or it collapses significantly and resets itself. Do you think that it keeps getting more expensive and everybody has to rent forever?
I see. My thing is, I don't understand how that hasn't always been the case. How has it not always been the case that the ultra rich just bought every house because they could, if they wanted to? Why didn't that happen?
Right. That's how it feels right now, because housing is so hot. There must be times where that doesn't feel like a good investment as much. But you're right.
I don't know.
But it's also a significant in time investment to do that kind of thing as well. I mean, I guess you can hire people, and some people. I mean, obviously, all the apartment buildings and everything are owned by ultra rich people.
Yeah,
it's not a middle class Joe Schmo saying, "I don't think I'll buy an apartment complex," and I don't know.
I love believing in these theories. It does feel like a lot of just stupidity, and then it just kind of happens, and now it's like, oh shoot.
Okay.
I want it to be by design so that we know who to take down. But if it's not by design,
it's just the bankers and the government and everybody. It's like, where do we start?
I don't know.